Hey everyone, Sean Smith here, and I wanted to quickly talk about something I've been working on for, well, this spreadsheet. I've been tracking it for the past 8 months, but I also have other spreadsheets where I worked with a nutritionist. So I've been doing this for maybe 2 years now, but long story short, basically what I did was I basically took the skills with numbers that I learned from my experience with Amazon advertising and Amazon PPC, and I applied them to my health. And so, I applied, number one, the decision-making process that I used, and number two, the kind of data-driven approach and using numbers, or just quantifying things a bit more, just so I can work towards my goals. And it's something that I absolutely love, and I honestly wouldn't, probably have been so data-driven if I hadn't got into the Amazon PPC space. But, one thing for me is that I don't just use numbers and spreadsheets for Amazon PPC. I also use it for my personal life and for things that I believe are important. And one of them here is my health. And I'll go into why I think it's so important, primarily because we're like organic material, right? Humans are organic material, and food and water is organic material that we consume. And the quality of the input of that organic material is correlated to the quality of the output. So a good example is like sugar. Sugar causes you to go up and then down in terms of energy, to whereas something like fiber helps you have more sustainable energy over time. That's just one example of how optimizing your organic consumption, which is food and water, can really help with optimizing your energy and the decisions you make throughout the day. And so what I've been doing is I bulked up, I increased my weight, and then I decreased my weight. But something I've always been fascinated with, well, not always, but ever since I started kind of getting into data and information, is outliers. Outliers absolutely fascinate me. I think not even from a number standpoint, but even people, people that are just unique. Anything that stands out really captures my attention and kind of can mesmerize me and cause me to really think hard, because when everything's going right and then something over here goes left and it produces a cool result, then I'm just like, whoa, what happened? Because everything, okay, a good example, and this is where this spreadsheet comes in right here. So a good example is the general consensus for most people is that if you increase calories, you increase your weight. If you decrease calories, you decrease your weight. But I read a book by a PhD. He's a PhD in nutrition, and he's worked with thousands of bodybuilding clients. And he wrote a book. It's called The Complete Guide to the Reverse Diet, or something like that. The Reverse Dieting Guide. And basically, the concept of the reverse diet is that after you cut down your weight, when you start to increase your calories, some people actually see that they continue to lose weight. And that's exactly what happened to me. So let's go into the data. So here we go. We have row 28. This is when I started my reverse diet on 5/28. And my 7-day average of weight was, so what I do is every day I weigh myself, and then I always do 7-day averages, because on a day-to-day we fluctuate in terms of weight based on, things like water consumption, nutrient timing, things like that, or when we eat, things like that. But if you have a 7-day average, it's just much more accurate. So I have just add them all up, divided by 7. So you see here, we'll mainly be using column A and column B. Column A is the week of, those 7 days, and then column B is going to be that 7-day average. So I started my reverse diet on 5/28, and basically what I started doing was, over here, when I started my reverse diet, my calories, my maintenance calories, which means kind of like the calories I was at where I was maintaining my weight, was 1,977 a day. And I do measure all my calories and all of my protein and protein, carbs, and fat in an app. I've been doing that for a really long time now, at least more than 8 months for sure. This spreadsheet is just only 8 months old. I do have other spreadsheets as well. They're just from previous data, data restructuring. But I started it here, and if you notice, the next week I decreased weight to 183.9, 183, 181.6, and then I went home. I had to go home, and after that, I basically So here is where I stopped. So you see, I have the 7 days. Here's where I stopped tracking. Yeah, because I went home for 2 weeks and I didn't track anything. And then I came back and I increased weight because I just wasn't measuring anything. I kind of went a little overboard for 2 weeks with eating. But then I got back into my reverse diet and started doing my target calories again. And now I'm down to 182. And so I'm down to 182. So I started my reverse diet. I think the big thing here is to look at this. I started my reverse diet on 5/29/2020. And I was at 184.6 pounds, 7-day average. The week of this is the 5-day average. The week of 8/21/2020, I'm 182. Week before I was 182.3. So I'm just gonna do quick math. So even the week before, I decreased by 2.3 pounds. So keep in mind that this was 1,977 calories here. And now I'm at 2669. I just started 2669 today. But for this whole time period, I was increasing caloric intake. And what was happening was the reverse was happening. So I was decreasing weight. I will say that maybe one thing is my training. I don't think it really changed. It changed a little bit. I did do more higher intensity stuff, which I think increased my metabolism. So I would say, why did this happen? You guys so I have an undergraduate degree in nutrition, and I'm also I took a while ago, I took a test to become a certified personal trainer. So I've invested tens of thousands of dollars into nutrition education because university degree costs a lot of money. I've also invested in high-level bodybuilding coaching and nutritionists. And this one, out of everything, has really, really amazed me to be able to increase my calories. And also, when I was at 1977, it was horrible. I couldn't work. I couldn't make good decisions. Now I'm eating more than ever, and I have more energy. I'm making better decisions, and I'm going up. And it's just, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. It's amazing. Now, why is it amazing? I want to go back to why. Because it's an outlier to me. Because the general consensus is you increase calories, go up in weight. But with this reverse diet, I will say that my training intensity is more around conditioning, and I do follow certain programming with training. So I think, some things to keep in mind is that I measure all my food. So I measure the caloric intake, fat, water, or fat, carbs, and protein, and I measure all my water. I drink a gallon of water a day, and I train. I was training 6 days a week. Now I'm at 5 days a week. But right now I'm at 5 days a week. For 3 days a week I do an hour. 2 days a week I do about a half hour. And I'm just burning through it. Keep that in mind. I do think that my training intensity has gone up, so I think that definitely can contribute to this. But even when my training was pretty steady, I was trailing down. So ultimately, I can't recommend that anyone does this because I'm not a professional. I don't have any clients under my belt. And I am pretty well educated in this space. I've hired people. I have a lot of education, so I'm very data-driven with this stuff. Will this same thing happen to you? I have no clue. Because keep in mind, I've been consistently training for years now, 5-6 days a week. So I don't know how it would affect someone who doesn't train or trains only a few days a week, or it depends on your intensity and stuff like that. But I just had to share this because this is an outlier, man. And it's, man, I was talking to my buddy Aaron, and I've been telling everybody, I've been blown away by this. I read the book, and I started a very conservative reverse diet where I'm increasing my weight by 0.1% per week. That's my goal, is 0.1%. But it's been going down, but my consumption goes up. So, I just wanted to share this because I love outliers, and I'm always looking for them. And when I stumbled upon them, they really widen my perspective and make me question what maybe I believed this whole time. So yeah, that's something that I wanted to share with you guys in regards to how really I've applied my skills with information and numbers to my health. And and that not only includes using spreadsheets, but also reading literature and reading books about it and understanding it more. All right, guys, I really don't know if anyone will be as fascinated with this as me, but just had to share it. I'll talk to you guys later.